Falcon Blues TV with 10bet. Click on the link in the description and use the code SPORT to get 100% back up to £50 when you sign up.
Let's do a bit of Everton. They played Bournemouth today on Talksport 2, 3 o'clock kickoff, not on UK TV. Dave Johnston is from Falcon Blues, Everton supporters group. Dave,
hey Dave.
I'm hesitant to say how are you, but how are you?
I'm all right. I thought last night would have been a bit of a anticlimax, but ultimately, we brought 8 in, got rid of 6, got rid of a couple that were real surplus to requirements. So, we can have a little bit of a moan about the fullback situation, but we've brought in a striker, we've brought in central midfielders. We've done all right. I think now we just got to do the business on the pitch. That's literally what it's down to for Everton now.
And that is quite a big that you make it sound easy, and Everton don't normally make it that easy on the pitch.
No, well, it's Everton, what you'd expect. But even the transfer window, we made that a little bit easier for ourselves. We had players in by the end of July. We were able to bed in during the pre-season, which is great, but I think all we need to see now is a reaction from the players from the last 2 league games. We did have a good result. Performance wasn't amazing against Doncaster on Tuesday, but it was a step in the right direction, and that's what we needed. I think we needed that reaction at Doncaster to think, okay, clean sheet at home, 3 goals. Let's crack on and move on. Let's forget those last 2 games, because that's exactly what I want to do. I do not want to think about those Brighton and Tottenham game ever again.
Yeah. Get your captain back, Seamus Coleman, midweek from injury. You've got to get Calvert-Lewin on the pitch, haven't you? That's what you need. Not scoring any goals is the major Everton problem, I think.
I think that's not just been the problem this season or last. I think that's been the problem since, the days of losing Romelu Lukaku to Man United. We've never, ever recovered from it. Everton will get rid of a player, but we will never actually replace him properly. There was a period where we barely replaced Lee Carsley for 6 years until we brought in Idrissa Gana Gueye. That's how mad this Everton side can be when it comes to transfers. But, the Calvert-Lewin situation now, he's here for the foreseeable. If he goes in January, he signs a pre-contract, then it is what it is. We just got to hope the likes of Beto, Chimiti are available, and Armando Broja, who we brought in late last night. I woke up to that one this morning. If he's fit and available as well, then it could be pushing Calvert-Lewin out. But losing Calvert-Lewin because of the lack of goals that we've had doesn't feel like. It won't feel like a big miss. If he was scoring goals and we lost him, then you'd be thinking, okay, well maybe will we need to be demanding at least 20 million for him if he's banging 10, 15 goals in? But he's not done that, and he owes Everton more than we owe him. I think there's a lot more to Calvert-Lewin that he needs to give. He's great. He works hard, but he just needs to get those goals, and that's where he struggled.
Now, you, Dave, will have read much more about this than I have. I've spoken to a couple of football finance experts, to Kieran Maguire, and did a lot about the 777 proposed takeover that didn't go through, and the financial problems you're in. And my understanding is that actually, there is a real danger that Everton go into administration at some point this season. But when I've said this, actually quite a few Everton fans, and social media is no barometer, as we know, have said, this is just clickbait journalism. You don't know what you're talking about. And I'm really happy to be corrected if I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Are you nervous about that?
I think with just the way people have just come and gone, I think they've taken one look at the books and gone, I don't even want to touch that with a barge pole. The Freaking Group pulled out. 777 was an absolute farce from the beginning. John Texter is the guy who's looking likely to buy us now. And, obviously, but when you look at the stuff that's going on with Leon, where he's basically put the side up for sale, is that going to happen to Everton? So back in the mind, there's a worry that there's a potential of it. But I think Everton have got enough clout to pull themselves out of it, where, if we were on the verge of administration, there'd be someone in there ready to just go, you know what, I will take you at the lowest point here. And, even if it means taking the points deduction like we had last season and things like that, would that owner then go, okay, well, let's clear the decks, let's get you at the lowest point? And I think that's what buyers are looking for. They're looking to take Everton at their weakest, so we don't have to give this money to Machiri, but we've got this big fancy stadium coming in from December.
Yeah.
And if we're not using the stadium for football, then we damn well sure need to be using it for gigs and tours and whatever else for the next 6 months to build money, because they're saying it's worth £75 million a year just in revenue. That pulls us out of the mire within 12 months, and if that's the case, then great. But we need to start utilising the stadium from December when it's available, once we've got the keys, and not wait until May, June, August. That period where we're waiting for the players and Everton to start using it. No, use it now. Get it ready, because otherwise, what's the point? You're just holding on to a box of Lego, really.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was expecting a sort of, this is a crisis, we've been through this. I'm, it's so annoying. But actually, I don't know if you think, and you don't want to talk about the Brighton and Spurs games. I understand that you actually started that Brighton game okay, and I suppose you've been through this so many times that you just sort of think it'll be all right. Sean Dyche is probably the right manager. It might be safety again, and that'll be fine. And then next year we move. You sort of like just get.
Everton fans seem used to it. Just seem used to it and sort of just accepting of it. I don't know if that's how it is.
I don't think it's accepting of it. I think we just want an easy ride for the moment. Just get us out get us into the new stadium. Just give me a season now where we're floating mid-table. We're picking up results wherever we need to, and we're not staring down the barrel of a relegation dogfight. But I think with Everton there, it is. We are comfortable. We know that we're capable of getting ourselves out of it, and that's the one. With Everton, we ended up finishing 14 points clear of the drop last season with a points deduction. And if that's not motivation for you to say you are better than the sum of your parts, then I don't know what motivation there is. You should be saying you are a much better team than you're making out. Why aren't you getting these results? We especially should be getting them at home. I didn't expect to win at Spurs. All I want is effort and just show up. And that last Saturday we didn't. We did for all the 20 minutes against Brighton. And we had chances to score early on. But then I think if goals don't go our way, if we don't score early, if we don't score first, forget about it with Everton. But that's the motivation, and that's the sort of the kick up the backside we need. If you don't score, you have to score 3. You can't just be scoring 2. Mm. You know what I mean? You need to be winning these games with a canter. But we need to be on the front foot every game. But we need to keep that momentum. We can't just let the confidence just sap because we didn't score. We hit the post against Brighton, and then we stopped. After that, Brighton just took control, and the game was over as a competition by half time, really, because we didn't show up that second half either.
Hey, good luck this afternoon. Have fun
good luck.
if you can.
Thanks a lot.